Hello art beaters, Becky here for artbeats.com, and I've got a brand new video for you today. Today we're continuing our bead embroidery series. We've already covered the 2 seed bead back stitch, the brick stitch edge, and now I'm going to show you how to do a picot edge on top of that brick stitch edge. This is going to add just a little bit more beady embellishment to your bead embroidered focals, and you can also use this technique on top of other designs like peyote stitch or brick stitch. So let's take a look at how to do the picot edge. Alright, so I've got my brick stitch edge all finished, and once you've got that finished, you're going to want to bring your thread up through one of the beads in your brick stitch edge. And adding a picot edge is really easy. Typically it's about 3 seed beads or beads per stitch. I'm going to use one of these A-dot Toho seed beads here, and then I'm going to pick up one of these really pretty 4mm fire polished beads, and then another little A-dot seed bead in that turquoise color. And all you do to make the picot edge is bring your needle down through the next seed bead in the brick stitch edge and pull. And you can see it just makes a really cute little scalloped look. And then to start the next picot edge, you bring your needle through the next bead over in the brick stitch edge. Pick up another set of 3 beads, so the turquoise, the fire polished, and the turquoise, and then back down through the next bead over. And this will create a really pretty look, and it goes by pretty quickly too. And it's just another way to add even more beads and texture and dimension to your bead embroidery projects. And you can also use this technique in other types of projects as well. So I'm coming out of that next bead over, coming down through the bead after that, pulling tight, and you may have to maybe adjust your beads a little bit, and then come up through the next bead over. Now these beads are a little bit bigger, so there is going to be a little bit of an overlap between the picot edges, but that can be a fun kind of look too. You can use smaller beads and make it a little more of a delicate detail if you want. That's the fun thing, is you can use whatever kind of beads you want. You don't even have to use just 3. Maybe if you have like really tiny beads, maybe it makes more sense to use 5 or just 2. It's really up to your creative direction. Coming up out of that next bead, and then I'm going to go down through the next bead over after that. And you just keep going with that, and you can go all the way around, and that's an option if you're going to be gluing a bail to the back of your piece. I started at the bottom of my piece. I will probably skip the center 2 or 3 beads at the top for the picot edge so I can add a beaded bail, and I can show you how to do that in our next bead embroidery video. Here's a look at that finished piece, again with the picot edge all the way around. For this picot edge, I used 3 beads, but I alternated using a bicone crystal and a crystal pearl for each stitch, just to kind of, I don't know, switch things up, add a little more beads in there. And I really like the way that turned out. Like I said earlier, you can do the picot edge on other stitches. This bracelet features a picot stitch on the edge of this peyote stitch band, and you can see that tiny little 15-aught seed beads and an 8-aught seed bead was used for this picot edge, and it creates a completely different look from an edge made with those bigger beads. So really fun one to play around with the different beads you use. You can even Picot edge on top of your Picot edge. So this bracelet is another peyote stitch bracelet. It features just a delicate little Picot edge on this side, and you can see that you can skip over different amounts of beads too to create a different look. This one, the beads were added, just tiny little seed beads and bicones, and then they were skipped over 2 beads. So there's 3 beads total that encompasses this Picot edge. 3 beads here, 3 beads here. So you can see you can play around with how many beads you skip over for that Picot edge as well. And then you can make a Picot edge on top of your Picot edge as seen here. So the Picot edge was done 3 beads wide again with slightly bigger beads all the way down, and then a Picot edge was added on top of the Picot edge. So there's all kinds of different ways you can play with this technique, and these pieces are available in our design studio with instructions so you can learn more. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned a little something more about the Picot edge. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed this video. And as always, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you're the first to know when videos like this one are out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.